Assalamu alaikum, beloved gems of spiritual miracle tale. You are unique and chosen by Allah to receive these heartwarming stories. May these reminders of His love and mercy enrich your life, bring you peace, and fill your heart with gratitude. You are truly special, and your journey matters here. The story of Amina, a journey of faith and resilience. In the realm of Alam-e-Arwa, where souls awaited their journey to the world, a gentle soul, Amina, was called upon. It was her time to descend to Dunya, the earthly world. She was to be born into a loving and prosperous family, a house already blessed with 2 boys and 3 girls. She was celebrated as the 4th daughter, the 6th child in a family that welcomed her arrival with open arms and immense joy. Her childhood was nothing short of a fairy tale. Amina was surrounded by every comfort imaginable, lavish toys, luxurious vacations, and the best education money could afford. As she grew, her beauty, grace, and intelligence became the pride of her family. By 20, she was ready for the next chapter of her life. Her family arranged her marriage to Adam, a man who seemed to be the perfect match. Adam was not only handsome, but also came from an equally affluent family. Their wedding was the talk of the town, a celebration that seemed to seal their lives in bliss. After sometimes Adam held his newborn daughter in his arms, his face glowing with happiness. "She's perfect," Adam whispered. "Our little Amina has brought nothing but blessings." Amina smiled at her husband. "Allah has blessed us abundantly. May we always remain grateful." Together they had 3 beautiful children, a 6-year-old son, a 3-year-old daughter, and a 2-year-old son. Their life seemed perfect, a picture of happiness and prosperity. The years passed in bliss. They raised their children in love and luxury, ensuring each had the best education and upbringing. Amina often told her children, "Gratitude brings barakah. Never forget to thank Allah for everything you have." One serene evening, after a day filled with laughter and joy, the family returned from a beach outing. That night, as everyone fell into a deep sleep, their world began to unravel. The next morning, their eldest son, Ammar, ran into their bedroom. "Abu, it's time for school, wake up!" Adam didn't respond. Alarmed, Ammar shouted louder, "Mama! Abu isn't waking up!" Amina rushed in, shaking Adam. "Adam, wake up! Please wake up!" Her voice trembled with fear. She called for an ambulance, her hands shaking. At the hospital, the doctor delivered the devastating news, "Mrs. Amina, your husband has suffered a major stroke. He's in a coma, and his chances of recovery are slim." Amina clutched her chest as tears streamed down her face. No, this can't be true." The doctor placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "I'm so sorry. We'll do our best." In an instant, her world crumbled. The once vibrant man who was her partner in life was now unresponsive, and the burden of raising 3 young children fell solely on her shoulders. As days turned into months, medical bills mounted, and Adam's business partners exploited his absence. Amina, once a queen in her household, found herself evicted from her mansion. With no savings and no one to rely on, she rented a tiny house and began her fight for survival. Months later, the phone rang in the middle of the night. Amina answered, her voice shaky. "Mrs. Amina, I'm sorry to inform you that your husband has passed away." The phone slipped from her hand as she fell to the floor, sobbing. Her children gathered around her. "Mama, what's wrong?" Ammar asked, his innocent eyes filled with concern. Amina held them tightly. "Your Abu. He's with Allah now." Her youngest, Hamza, looked up at her. "Why did Allah take Abu?" Choking back her tears, Amina whispered, "Because Allah loves him, my son, and He has a plan for us." Amina struggled to rebuild her life. Relatives mocked her. She had everything, and now look at her, they sneered. But Amina stayed steadfast. She turned to Allah, praying day and night. One day, a distant cousin visited her, sharing a story of faith. My daughter was born with a rare illness, the cousin said. The doctors told me she wouldn't live more than 3 months. I was shattered. Amina listened intently, tears welling up in her eyes. But we prayed, the cousin continued. We thanked Allah for every moment we had with her. She lived for 6 beautiful years, bringing joy and teaching us to cherish life. The cousin smiled through her tears. When she passed, we didn't grieve. Instead, we thanked Allah for those 6 precious years. Trust in Him, Amina. He never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. Amina was moved. Your story has given me hope. Jazakallah khair for sharing it. Amina takes on odd jobs during the day, cleaning, babysitting, and tutoring. At night, she creates content for YouTube. A montage shows her working tirelessly. It is very hard for a mother who had to take care of 3 little children's, a household chores, and her works, a miracle mother, Amina, to herself. My children will have a better life. I won't let them suffer. One night, her second son wakes and finds her working. Son, Ami, why don't you sleep, Amina? Smiling softly. Because your dreams are worth my sleepless nights. She prayed during tahajjud and cried her heart out to Allah, seeking strength. Her dua was simple yet profound. Ya Allah, make my children righteous and successful. Guide me so I may guide them. Years passed, and her hard work paid off. Her YouTube channels flourished, and her children excelled. Ammar became a renowned scientist, Hamza a world-famous chef, and Yusuf a leading doctor. Despite their success, Amina never sought validation from those who once mocked her. She lived humbly, quietly thanking Allah for His mercy. One day, Amina's grandmother fell ill and wished to see her. Amina packed simple gifts and went to visit her family after 20 years. When she arrived, whispers filled the air. Look at her. She's so poor now. She used to be so proud. What happened to her? Amina ignored them, keeping her head high. Moments later, luxury cars pull up. Her sons step out, dressed impeccably, carrying lavish gifts. The relatives freeze in shock. A luxury car pulled up, and Ammar stepped out. Who is that? A relative asked, staring in awe. That's Amina's eldest son, another whispered. Hamza arrived next, holding a beautifully wrapped gift box. Yusuf followed, stepping out of his car with an air of confidence. The 3 sons entered the house, embracing their mother. Mama, Ammar said, you are the reason we stand tall today. Your sacrifices made us who we are. Hamza handed her the gift box. We owe everything to you, Mama. You're our greatest blessing. Yusuf added, no wealth in the world compares to your love and faith. The relatives, stunned, watched in silence. Amina knelt beside her grandmother, who smiled weakly. You are my pride, Amina. You've shown the world the power of faith and resilience. May Allah bless you always, her grandmother said. Amina kissed her hand. It was Allah's mercy, Dadi. Everything I have is because of Him. As her grandmother passed away peacefully, Amina left with her sons. Her relatives, humbled, approached her. We were wrong about you, Amina. Please forgive us. Amina smiled gently. Allah forgives. Who am I to hold grudges? May He guide us all. She returned home with her sons, her heart full of gratitude. The world now saw her as a beacon of hope and faith. Years later, Yusuf asked her, Mama, if you could change anything about your life, would you? Amina smiled, her eyes glistening. Not a single moment. Every hardship was a blessing in disguise. It brought me closer to Allah and shaped us into who we are. Her journey ended not in wealth or fame, but in the love of her children and the contentment of her heart, a true masterpiece of faith and resilience. A mother's love for her children transforms her pain into power, her struggles into strength, and her faith into an unshakable legacy.